friend Alan Margie from Port Townsend sent us these Tulameen raspberries. 3 of them. And so I'm going to fill some potting soil in these buckets that have cracks already in the bottom and plant them. Put some potting soil in there and plant the little guys. So I've got these guys in their buckets, the center of the garden, so they can get as much light as possible. And I just soak them with water. And yeah, here they are. Tulameens. So I put these in portable containers because I don't know where they'll end up eventually. I already have a big patch of raspberries in the front there, so maybe these will go in a different location. And also, I don't know if I want to plant them now, and I don't know if their root system will be good enough to get through the winter, so I can maybe bring these inside for the winter and then plant them in the spring somewhere. So I'll have to decide about that. But anyway, yeah, Tulameens. Yeah, they're supposed to be nice big raspberries. And I'm super excited because I want more and more and more and more berries out here. Okay, folks, so it's going to be a mishmash of things I'm doing this week. They're saying that we've got a couple days of sun and then it's going to rain. I don't know. They keep doing that and then they upgrade it, and so that actually it's just going to be sunny. So I don't know. I'm just going to pretend like they're right and that I need to make hay while the sun is shining. So it's overcast a little bit, so it's a little bit cooler, which is nice for harvesting. And I'm going to get this bed right here that I left to regrow. And so it's ready to cut. That's what I'm going to start with. I'm harvesting lettuce. Just started. A little deer came to visit me. Hi, silly. What are you eating? I think he's eating the oats. I've been harvesting, oh my gosh, I've been harvesting his lettuce. Baby, no. And it's been kind of a little sunny, so I've been taking, but baby, no. I've been taking little buckets up to the house. So I was just coming back down here and little deers trying to eat my lettuce. Baby, no. Oh, sweetie, don't be scared. I just don't want you eating my lettuce. Harvested and weeded. This was a pretty clean bed to harvest. Just took a little bit longer because I didn't want like the little tiny regrowth bits and pieces to be in there. So I had to kind of shake them out. Yeah, I think I might let this regrow again. And maybe the newly seeded stuff can kind of catch up. We'll see how that goes. Oakley dokley, moving from that area over here to the collard and chard patch. And I'm going to cut some of these little leaves to put in with the lettuce mix. I think these guys are going to need some bigger hoops because they're outgrowing these little guys. I got just a little bit of chard. There's a lot of discolored leaves. Went ahead and just thinned out all the little guys that I left in between the main buddies. Now I just got to weed and put some big hoops on. Pretty. Looks like I'm going across the prairie in a covered wagon or something. I had hoped to also get the kale done today, but I didn't get it done. Just everything took much longer today than I thought. Blah blah. So tomorrow kale, and then I think the weather, rain coming up. I think I should yank out all the garlic too. We'll see. Whoa. Okay, folks, so I'm going to switch gears from harvesting greens to harvesting all of this garlic because we've got kind of more of a sunny day and tomorrow's more reliably overcast, so then I can get the greens without them wilting out in the sun. So that's up next. The sawhorses that I use to set up my curing racks are in use for building this tunnel. So I'm just gonna throw the garlic in boxes for now and deal with that later. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Here we go. Okay, I got the first bed of Georgian Crystal last week, and so I'm getting the second bed of Georgian Crystal, and I think that I'm gonna switch my body movement to clippers and get the tops clipped off, and then move on to yanking the next bed. Whew, sweaty. Okay, so I got the little bit of weeds yanked out of here, and so these two beds are Georgian Crystal. These two beds were Georgian Fire. This is the first bed that I harvested with a bunch of really weird looking garlic, and this bed was just in seaweed. That was the mulch, and these three beds were seaweed and leaves mixed, and most of this garlic here was fine. So I don't know if that's what made the difference. So all four of these beds, I undersowed just a number of weeks ago some oats and peas, and I raked this one after I harvested the garlic, and you can see the oats coming up, but because I broadcast on top, you know, and we haven't had consistent moisture, it's been a problem. So I went ahead and raked this bed, and then I thought, I don't know, because the leaves are kind of fluffy, and so I just kind of left these two alone. We'll see if the oats and peas come up in time. I left these 5 garlic in the front. I left the scapes on these because I was hoping that maybe they would flower and they'd be so pretty in front of the garden. Cozy. I'm uncovering the kale over here in the corner. Little dear. So it was overcast this morning. It's supposed to be overcast all day, so I was like taking my time this morning, like doop-de-doo, doop-de-doo. And now it looks like the sky's just gonna clear up completely, as I was like hoping for a nice overcast day to harvest. But I think what I'm gonna do is just harvest into this little bowl like I did with the lettuce, keep it in my shadow, and deal with that. So what I'm gonna do is, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go through and get the big leaves, and then I'm gonna go through and get the little leaves. And I'm gonna go every other blossinato kale plant here, and then later I'll yank out the one in between, so I can give more space so these guys can grow bigger. And then there's the red Russian kale around here, which I think I'm just gonna, you know, go ahead and cut and leave to grow around. But I want these plants to get really big so I can get some nice big leaves to freeze during the winter time. And I don't know if they have enough time through August to get that big, but that's kind of my intent. So yeah, I'm gonna do the big leaves first, and see how that works, right? So I'm just gonna go, right? Big leaves. Big leaves. Right? And then I'll get to the little guys later. Oh, it's a little bird buddy. Can you see him? Hey, bird buddy. Harvested, thinned, and weeded. 2 covered wagons. I've got a split that I'm gonna need to sew up or something later on. Mix of the big leaves. Full of baby kale that I can put in with the baby chard and the lettuce mix. There's Mom and Spot. Hi, little buddy. Hi, little guy. Hi, silly. You're losing your spots. We're gonna call you Spotless pretty soon. Oh boy. Coming out to get green onions. One green onion. I'll get the rest of them later. We did get some rain last night, and it's sprinkling right now. It feels like Groundhog Day every week. Same thing, doing the same thing every week, kind of. I guess I yanked out all the garlic this week. That's different. So when I was out in the garden harvesting the garlic, I had 2 separate boxes, and I separated out the small size, bulbs from the larger size, cloves, so that I can plant the larger size cloves and get nice big plants. And so this is a small Georgian Fire that I've got all prepped. And actually these are quite big for small size, right? And I just need to get these guys bagged up. Getting ready to sell a few things. Raspberry patch. Some of these guys, whoa, are getting bigger. And I saw a few that were turning red. Here's one. You see them? And then some down at the end here. A lot more down at the end here. They're turning. Oh wow, these are ready to pick actually. These ones down here. Okay, I've got the curing racks out. I've got the 2 boxes of big Georgian Fire back there. Box of big Georgian Crystal. Box of small Georgian Crystal. Box of small Georgian Fire. And I've got the rest of that small Georgian Fire in here. These guys, some of them are just too small. They slip right through this mesh size. I'll probably just prep the little bit of Georgian Fire that's left that didn't fit in here. And then I got a couple of boxes of goofy garlic that I'll probably prep and decide what to do with. Then as far as these guys, they're all dirty. I don't need to clean them up if they're for us for eating or for seed that I'll use later to plant in the garden late September or early October. But there might be some in here, I have to do an inventory because there might be some in here that I can still sell. And so I need to kind of count that out. Yeah, so I just need to get a fan on these guys and let them cure. And that'll be that. You might hear the rain that we're getting. Got some yesterday and now it's really pouring down. So the forecast was correct. And I'm glad I got the garlic out. See you guys next week. Baby. Yeah, he's little.